The world is more complex and elaborate than our senses indicate. In the past, phenomena that could not be explained were attributed to spirits or demons, but scientific progress has demonstrated the existence of invisible forces. Forces that, although unnoticed by most of our senses, have a powerful influence on our health and physical condition. It may seem incredible, but in the same way that a small change in water temperature can have terrible effects on the health of certain fish, or that your dog goes crazy because of a beep emitted in some of those frequencies that we can't hear, there are certain elements in our environment that can have serious consequences or benefits, and of which we could be totally ignorant. It is a question of balance. It's like when you bring a magnet close to an old computer monitor or television set. The image is distorted, drawing an abnormal spectrum of colors on the screen and leaving a stain on the image that does not disappear for some time. What in other times could have been labeled as witchcraft or occultism, we now know that it is the simple effect of the magnet field affecting the internal balance of the television set. Something very familiar, although on a larger or smaller scale depending on the case, happens in our organism when exposed to certain frequencies, vibrations, or radiation. To explain this well and to make it super clear, without confusion or doubts, it will be necessary to talk about waves. It may seem exaggerated to say it, but everything, absolutely everything in our world has to do with waves. Nikola Tesla, the great inventor and visionary of Serbian origin, as well as father of the alternating current system, the one we use all over the world, once declared that all the secrets of the universe could be found and discovered if we think in terms of energy, frequencies, and vibrations. Waves or vibrations are present in all existing aspects and processes. To understand it well, it would serve to imagine a rope in a state of tension after it receives a blow. When receiving the blow, the rope shakes because of the energy it is receiving. Sounds are simply vibrations that our ears intercept and convert into information that our brains can understand. A frequency is the number of times an energy wave rises and falls during 1 second, and how fast or slow these waves oscillate is measured in hertz, abbreviated as Hz. We must also understand resonance, which is the phenomenon produced when an internal and external frequency coincide. Everything in the universe has molecular vibration. Everything from a fluid in a glass of water to a solid and unbreakable diamond has molecular vibration and receives and/or transmits these waves. This point may sound esoteric or magical, but no, it is totally logical and common sense. Heart rate can be measured in beats per second to say the same, just as brain activity can be measured in electrical frequencies. If these disappear or stop completely, death occurs. Beyond conventional waves, which are only transmitted through matter, there are electromagnetic or radio waves that can be transmitted from one place to another. To hear the sound of a voice, there must be air or some other type of conduit vibrating between the listener and the listener's ear. In 1992, biologist Bruce Tainio conducted a study of the vibrational frequency of the human body. The healthy frequency of vibration in the body is 62 to 72 MHz. A drop in the frequency of the body to 55 MHz presents lethargy, sickness, and cold-like symptoms. Viral infections are 42 MHz and cancer is 20 MHz. And this is just talking about sounds. Certain sound frequencies are also used in the so-called music therapy in order to generate beneficial health effects. Frequencies from 285 Hz incite the healing of cells and tissues, delaying aging. 528 Hz propitiate the regeneration of DNA. 625 Hz collaborate with the correct haptic functioning and vibrations of 741 Hz clean the cells. There is some discussion as to whether exposure to certain electromagnetic frequencies has harmful effects on our health. After all, in today's world, we are perpetually exposed to electric and magnetic fields in the form of telecommunication devices and household appliances. Electromagnetic radiation, different for all that has already been explained, is comprised of a broad spectrum of wavelengths, a wavelength, or what amounts to the same thing, a vibrational speed many millions of times faster. Within this spectrum, the first are the radio waves themselves, as we have just mentioned, with the longest length of all, which makes them ideal for telecommunications projects. This frequency has no harmful effect on health, at least not as far as studies have shown. They have been used for the last 100 years in the treatment of certain diseases such as cancer or circulation problems, used deliberately to heat particular areas of the body to promote healing. Next in this range of frequencies are microwaves with wavelengths ranging from 30 centimeters to 10 millimeters of oscillation. They are used in television or cell phone transmissions. The next frequency is what is popularly known as the visible spectrum with its wide range of colors, which makes up almost 10% of electromagnetic radiation. The colors that our eyes can perceive in this range go from red to violet, and its millions of intermediate variations. Next are the dreaded UV or ultraviolet rays, invisible but forming the main range of frequencies within the spectrum provided by solar energy. It has numerous practical applications, such as sterilization of equipment or foodstuffs, as well as various medical, diagnostic, or therapeutic treatments. Most of this radiation is absorbed in the atmosphere, and its effects on the skin is highly dangerous. The last two are X-rays and gamma rays, both of which are considered ionizing radiation. The innovation of X-rays and their use for X-rays in similar studies is that their frequency, between 50 and 50,000 times faster than that of visible light, is capable of penetrating matter and bodies. The study of the effects that these invisible forces have on the body is not new. It dates back to ancient times in our history, with Pythagoras of Samos as one of our antecedents. This Greek sage and mathematician, born in the 7th century, deduced that certain harmonic patterns produced certain effects, establishing sequences that, when used consciously, had healing effects. Ignored for a long time, these physical and natural forces influenced our lives in many ways and continue to do so. Each time we know more and more about these mysteries of our environment, understanding it little by little and improving.